A common mistake that we make with people who seem quite placid is always praising them for never getting angry. Seems like a good thing, right? Like if someone never gets angry, then that means they can't get rattled. They probably don't make stupid decisions. They're not that egotistical. Actually, it's quite a big handicap. Let's think about people who seem the most happy. They often are the most sad. People who place greatest emphasis on perfection often feel the most shame. Whenever you have one extreme, it's usually counterbalancing the opposite. So people who seem the most calm may actually be the most angry. And think about this. If anger doesn't express itself overtly, where does it go? Don't worry, I'll wait. It has to go somewhere. Anger may come out in against the self. Sometimes it can get split off into other areas of life. It could come out sexually. And that doesn't necessarily mean sexually violent. But it changes how we do things, how we perceive things, what we fantasize about. Anger could come out in the form of passive aggression. And that doesn't mean just making snide comments. That could be in ways you don't even realize. If someone can't express their anger overtly, if someone doesn't have access to their anger, how do they set boundaries? How would you know when you've crossed their boundary if they don't express anger? You actually don't know where you stand with them. That should be a worrying thought. Now, instead of always praising them for not getting angry, I think we should encourage them to express anger. We should celebrate them when they do express anger. We should notice when they're clearly angry, but because they're so programmed to not express it, they're trying to keep it down. Maybe you see their legs shaking, their teeth gritting, their voice changes, their demeanor changes, their face drops. Explore that with them. Anger, let's liken it to fire. Sorry to keep going on about the legend of Aang, but the element of fire was described as the element of life, I believe. And I think that's so true. Even when you think of just having a zest for life, there's a million places you could take it. But just having a zest for life, there's an element of anger involved in that, aggression, a rigor that you need for that. To be able to have access to your anger is vital to you being allowed to exist fully. So I think we need to have more empathy for people who don't express anger, rather than celebrating them for being convenient.